Hello lovelies, it is Thornie back here with The Sims 4. Today I'm doing a speed build. This is what I call an EA shell build challenge. I take an EA build. This time I've chosen the old mill, which is in Evergreen Harbor, and I remove all of the items from inside. I remove all of the details from outside, like the windows and the roof and the garden and everything, and turn it into a shell, technically sort of back to how it started. I like doing shell challenges. People do create shells, sort of complicated shells that you have to take and create a house or a building or, you know, a library or whatever you want to make it into. So I love doing those, and I thought this would be an interesting way of revamping EA builds because some of them are a little bit weird. This was very dark. It was very open plan, so all of the floors were a little bit sort of long and thin, and yeah, I thought I could maybe make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I took it back to the shell. My rules for this shell challenge is basically you can't change the wall height, you can't change the foundation, and you can't add any regular height walls on the outside. You can add small walls. That's not the right word. You know, half walls. That's the word I'm searching for. You can add half walls on the outside because I think that's the same thing as a fence, but you can't add regular height walls on the outside to create like extra rooms or anything like that. You can of course add walls on the inside to create a floor plan. So yeah, I turned this build around on its side because it looked so long and thin the other way. I thought it looked a bit odd on the plot, so I turned it around. I've gone a bit sort of like modern cottagey, you know, not that you could call this a cottage, but that kind of vibe, I think. Choosing windows wasn't too bad. I was trying to imagine how somebody with a little bit of money would maybe build a new build in a cottage style, you know, that, or with a cottage vibe. The floor plan, I have to say, it did take me forever trying to work out where the stairs were going, and oh yes, because it is 4 floors. There's 3 floors that are the similar kind of size as this, and then the top floor is like a small square room, so I've left that as just an open plan room for the kids. It is 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, I think. Is that correct? I've built it for a family of 6, and yeah, so there's the parents' room, there's the toddler room, 2 of the kids are sharing a room, and then the teenager has their own room. So yeah, it's a 4 bedroom and 3 bathroom and lots of stairs. So I added the balconies on the outside as well, just to try and make it less flat. A lot of the EA builds, I think, are kind of quite boxy or long and thin, and you get these sections where it is just a totally flat wall, and sort of 3 or 4 stories of flat wall looks a little bit odd, I think. You can get away with it like on one side, not having too much detail, but I think having sort of flat walls all the way around looks a bit dull. So I was trying to add balconies on, and like the front porch and the back porch, to try and make it a little bit more well, yeah, visually appealing, I suppose is the words. I'm also using this kind of light beech wood, kind of light oak kind of colour, which I don't often use. I use a lot of white wood, I think, just because that's easier to match. But yeah, with that kind of stone that I picked on the outside, I've gone with this kind of colour, which I think works out quite well. With the decoration, I'm going again leaning towards country, but kind of modern style, as if somebody was like recreating a country house, but on a large, like a little country cottage, but on a large scale with plenty of money. So this is like the little entrance foyer. Got a seat and the umbrella stand, and this kind of blue wallpaper I thought was quite nice. And then I just put in a little kind of reading nook, I suppose, little chair. I did have some issues with some of the curtains, and I did chop some of the footage out of me trying to pick curtains for the upstairs, because I've got 3 wide windows and curtain choices are a little bit hit and miss. Oh, maybe I didn't do a reading nook. I thought I put like a little chair here. I have been filming this over the last week or so. I kind of keep doing a little section and coming back to it. That nice little sort of area under the stairs. Obviously just put a little lamp there and a plant just to make it sort of green and interesting looking, filling the space. So the kitchen is a decent size. To say it's like 4 floors and 4 bedrooms, I suppose the kitchen is a bit small, because I do put a kind of little, I suppose, a breakfast table in that only fits 3. So I was a bit concerned about space, and I wanted the kitchen to be a decent size and not having to like compromise that to be able to put a big table in. But there is a dining room in one of the other rooms. So you kind of see me here trying to pick tables and chairs. I didn't kind of give myself a pack limit, but once I start doing builds, the items that I pick, so like the flooring and the kitchen and things, those items I do then try and use more of those items in the build, so I'm not using all of the packs. But invariably I end up using sort of 1 plant from a pack and maybe 1 chair from a different pack, so it might look like there's a lot of different packs but on the gallery. So this will be on the gallery when this goes live on YouTube. I've not uploaded it yet because I have just been play testing it all, and everything works. Had a little bit of an issue with the hot tub that we'll get to later, but yeah, everything works. So yeah, when I upload it onto the gallery, sometimes it looks like I've used like 15 packs or something, but you can actually go through and check. I think you click on all the pack icons and it will actually tell you in that build what items from that pack have been used. So sometimes you can sort of have a look and see, and it might just be a mirror or a plant, and if you've not got that pack, then you can kind of think, well, I can still download it because I'm not concerned about there being a plant missing. But I do try. It is difficult, and I forget. I kind of forget what I'm doing. I forget what packs I'm doing. I see a bed that I like and think, oh yeah, I'll use that bed. Not even thinking about it being from a different pack. So the easiest way to do it, I suppose, is to filter the items by pack and make sure that you stick to that. But like I say, that is not one of my shell challenge rules for this sort of series, at least. This is only my second. I talk about a series like I've been doing this for ages, but this is only my second build in this challenge that I've kind of made for myself. But I did the first one and I really enjoyed it. I did more of a bit of like an eco kind of home. And I like the idea of taking the EA build and sort of seeing what it looks like as a shell. Because some of them they're pretty straightforward, so it's not like I'm really giving myself much of a challenge. They're not super complicated shells, but it is sometimes the shapes like this, because it's quite long and thin, this one, turning it on its side means that you can have the front door in the middle, which for me anyway made it easier to figure out a floor plan, because you can have rooms on the left of the stairs and the right of the stairs. Whereas if you're doing it long and thin so that the front door is at the kind of the narrow end, you've got sort of like a long space that I don't like putting in corridors and things like that unless I'm going to have it open plan. It can be difficult. So I have freely admit that I've given myself an easy challenge of just taking the EA build and turning it into a shell. But it's interesting. I'm enjoying it, so which is why I've done this second one. So I will continue to do them. I've also made a family to live here. So the Stanford family lives here, which is the mum and dad, the teenage daughter, the 2 twin girls who are children, and then a toddler. The mum is a doctor and the dad is a scientist. They're very hardworking. I feel like the teenager gets stuck with looking after the kids and making breakfast and things. So if you are interested in that, they will also be on the gallery. So that is the Stanford family who are living here. So they've been in, play tested it all, and everything was fine. I really like that leaf wallpaper. I hardly ever use it, and because I picked these orange sofas, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about the orange, but I wanted a bit of colour. I wanted it to be not all white and pale and grey. So I saw those sofas and I thought they were quite a nice compromise, that they're kind of a bright colour, but they're not like in your face, like fluorescent. And then I was looking for some wallpaper again, just to sort of jazz things up a bit. And I thought about that leaf paper. The green variant of it is very specific to a style, I think. But the grey and black kind of style, I think, is a little bit more muted. Although it is obviously quite busy. But I liked him. So in this little area, I decided to make this more of a little room rather than doing the open plan with the stairs from the front door straight through to the back door, because we have like a little gallery upstairs where you can see down into the front foyer. I kind of made this into a room but gave it an archway so it is just free flowing. And then this is where I made my like reading area. Those chairs are from Paranormal, I think. I just like the pale pink. They just look really cozy. And I've only recently downloaded the Paranormal pack. I do a lot of the time. I do buy them when they come out, sort of quite early on. But that one sort of passed me by. I know it was only the other day I realised that I'd never actually downloaded it, so I got that. So I do like a lot of the kind of the items, the furniture and things. They're quite nice sofas and chairs and stuff. Oh, so this is a parent's bedroom. They have a whole level to themselves. And oh my goodness, I really struggled. I liked the bed. I liked that pattern on the bed, but I didn't want it to be like super dark. Again, curtains. I just felt like I was taking forever to pick curtains. So I actually do a little bit to this room and then come back to it, which I don't often do. I think usually I have like an idea of what I want. But I thought it's a big room, I could put a seating area, and I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I think because of the doors there as well, it's like an awkward space. So I move on to the bathroom on the left hand side, and then in the middle section is going to be like a bit of a dressing area. So they're super lucky having that whole floor. Imagine having that in real life. That'd be very nice. I mean, the bathroom is pretty standard. I like to add a little bit of decoration, but I don't go over the top because generally it's kind of a small room. I obviously there do change the tiles and everything. I think because I chose the sort of the black sink and things and the black counters, I like the idea of the tile sort of matching in a little bit more. So this middle area, so the bathroom is on the left and the main bedroom is on the right. This middle area is going to be like the dressing room. So I do use the Dream Home Decorator Kit, sort of some of the sections in that. There I was just having a think about the room, about the bedroom. I was trying to work out what I was doing, what I was thinking. I realised putting stuff on top of that dresser is really awkward because the snapping space is like really on the edge. Nothing snaps in the centre. So here I am finding bits and pieces as I go along to put in the bedroom, but focusing on this dressing room. I do like these modular furnishings for like a dressing room. I keep saying dressing room. For like a wardrobe is the word I'm looking for. I don't like the fact that they disappear when you have the walls down. I think that's a bit odd, but also on the other hand it is quite nice that they disappear so that you can see what you're doing. And I love that mirror with the lights around it. Here I'm just struggling trying to get this little potion bottles in the right place. So it's a basic space, but it is usable. You've got wardrobes in there. And you've also got a door out onto a little balcony at the back. This area is going towards the front of the house. So you go through the dressing room into this section, which actually looks down. It's like a gallery area. It looks down over the front door and the staircase. So I thought it'd be nice for the parents to have a little bit of private sort of space where they can use it at the office. Obviously, they're both busy. They are both busy people. So I imagine that they bring a lot of work home with them. So that's like a little quiet area for them to do that. Yeah, I just had not a nightmare. It was fine, but just trying to fit something on the top of that dresser. I also remember that the chairs from Dream Home Decorator, the modular chairs, the long section you can have with two arms, so it makes like a chaise longue, which I thought was quite nice, filled up the space nicely. Put that radio in there and some flowers. Again, quite simple. Trying to keep it the theme, sort of the dark colours, not having it too, clashing. And then just filling up this shelf with a couple of bits and pieces. I really do like that hanging shelf. And it fills up sort of spaces really neatly without it being too full, if because you can see through to the back of it. It's not like a bookshelf that's got a solid back. You can still see the wall colour, so it still looks quite open. So this is the next floor up. Sorry for the jumping up and down. I'm just cloning the bathroom items. This is the kids' floor. So all of the kids' bedrooms are here. They have one bathroom between them. So another bathroom would probably be a good idea. But unfortunately, there's just the one. So the twins share this room. I do change this wallpaper. We go a bit mountainy and a bit kind of Dream Home Decorator because it's a lot of the stuff is from that pack. But I really like these beds with the little kind of patterns on the end of the bed, although I do end up covering those up, I think. Here again, I am searching for curtains, so I'm not going to go over that again because it'll be boring. But I really like this sort of mountainy, triangle-y sort of pattern for the wallpaper and the beds. Because this is a larger room, instead of splitting it into two, I thought we'd have twins and they could share the room, put their toys in here. The cardboard kind of doll's house from Eco Lifestyle I really like, and I have sized it down. I don't know if I size it down again. But but just to fit it in so it's not taking over the whole space. But it does work. I have tested it. So one of them's a bit creative. So we've got the art table and some paintings on the walls. I thought one of them could maybe enjoy reading. So they've got the book poster. And again, just some clutter items, just to make it a little bit more lived in. And then yeah, here is where I'm thinking about the rug, making it look like grass. So the doll's house is on grass, and I changed a couple of the walls to that green triangle paper, so it kind of maybe looks like you're in a forest. This is the teenager's room. I kept it quite white and bright and simple. The curtains and the wallpaper, I thought maybe it's more towards like a child style, but I like the idea that they have had this room since they were little, and so they're kind of upgrading things a little bit at a time. So they've got the kind of the old kids sort of wallpaper and curtains, but they've got all new sort of white fancy furniture for being a teenager. Put the desk on a bit of an angle just to fill up the space a little bit more and look a little bit more interesting, rather than have everything aligned, which I often just have everything lined up straight around the walls and it can look a bit dull. So I added in a little seat down there, a violin. I thought if she had a friend round or something, they've got a couple of chairs there for people to sit down on, and a little rug just to add a little bit more colour. Now this one at the end is a toddler room, so it's pretty standard, you know, the potty, the toy chest, just so they've got bits and pieces that they need. This doll's house, again, the toddler one, I scaled it down a couple of times and it does work. I thought I like it, but sometimes they are just a bit huge. You don't always have space for them. So they've got the building blocks. I'd like that frog, but it just looks super bright, so I do change it. And I put the rug underneath the toys because I thought the kids would be kneeling on that rather than having it next to the bed. And I love this dinosaur wallpaper and these curtains. I do find some little dinosaur like stickers, like wall decals, that I put over by the bed, just to again fill up the walls a little bit so they're not so blank. But I thought these were cute to add a little bit more interest. So this is the floor outside of the kids' rooms. So I'm adding in a desk and a computer. So there are a couple of computers on this lot. I'm also putting in some paintings and things, just a bit of decorations. Just a bit of decorations? That didn't sound like proper English. Just a few decorations here and there. And a little bookcase in this corner. To fill in that odd little square that the staircase railing has made. It glitches a tiny little bit on the railing, but I hope that doesn't bother anyone. I'm happy to ignore it. And I found those fairy lights and I thought they were a proper like teenage thing to have up on the wall. So again, just a couple of bits on the wall, a few I put a mirror here, I think, and then another painting, and then a rug on the floor, just to fill it up a little bit. I like to keep things, well, sometimes I like to keep things sort of simple. It is great doing a house when you can put like loads of stuff in and put loads of clutter and make it look really lived in, but not everybody lives like that. Some people do have super tidy houses. So and with the scale of this, I thought it was nice to have a little bit more open space. The balconies I keep relatively simple. On the parents' balcony I've put an easel, and then out here I just put a couple of chairs just so it fills it up, and you know, you could go out there and have a nice relax and look out at the view. Finally in the house, this top top room. I've kept it as a kids' room. I thought it would be nice to have a few more toys because there's obviously so many kids. They could have an extra space. We've got the play tent. We've got another desk. I don't put another computer up here, but you could put a computer. I put the Christmas decoration box. And then some more toys. So we have a TV in here. The Don't Wake the Llama game. And a couple of chairs. I do put a sofa in first of all, which I really like because it's quite bright and colourful. But to fit the Don't Wake the Llama game in with all the chairs and everything, I can't fit the sofa in with it. So I just put a couple of like stools around, and they do use those, which is handy. I do also get rid of that toddler block stand thing, table thing, whatever it's called. I very rarely use it. I kind of forget. I almost forget about it because I usually put other things in instead. So I'm kind of deciding, do I want to leave that in? Do I want to get rid of the desk? But I really like the idea of having the desk up here, that, you know, one of them could be doing the homework while some of them are playing, and they're all kind of up here together. So yeah, those are the little stools that I put in. And do the kind of the trees on the wall, and I do change that blue just to kind of tone it down a little bit. But I really liked it up here. I thought it was really nice. And again, I use those curtains that have the clouds and the trees on because I thought they fitted in quite well. It's a nice space. And yeah, I thought it would be good for the kids. They can all be social together. This little spot under the stairs, I put like a little nifty knitting area. So I just put the sideboard, a couple of bits and pieces from that, and the kind of the big bag of wool and stuff, and a little chair here. So the idea that it just fills in a space, but it's also a useful area that one of them could be, you know, interested in knitting and crafting, so they have a little spot there. This is the second of the parents' balconies. This is where they walk through past their computer out to the front of the house. And I thought about putting, well, I did put the flower arranging table, and then I thought, well, a hot tub would fit up here. So I put a hot tub up here, and I did not record the end of this section. I put in a raised area, and I did have to go back after play testing. I had to go back and change that. I had a little bit of an issue, so I put a half wall around it to hopefully solve the problem. But I thought it'd be fancy for the parents to have a hot tub, seeing as it's quite not a super fancy house, but I would imagine that you could tell that people had money if they lived in this house. You know, they've got enough money to be able to afford to have a hot tub. So I put a pool in the backyard. I have done the front garden. Again, I just keep it relatively simple with the planting. I thought that they wouldn't really have time to be planting everything themselves and gardening. So we keep it relatively straightforward. Have a large space for the pool in the back. We have a grill and everything set up on the back sort of porch. A nice table, some things for the kids. So we've got the swing set and the monkey bars. And then, yeah, just some simple, what's the word? Gardening? Landscaping. Landscaping is the word I'm looking for. So a bit of terrain paint around, making it look a little bit lived in. Put some more of the lounge chairs out. And a couple of trees just to fill things in. And we are coming to the end of the speed build here, so we'll jump into real life and I'll give you a tour around. Okay, so here we are in our live mode. This is the Stanford family that I've made to live here. All the kids are at school. And this is what the house looks like all finished. As I was saying, the front garden is very simple, not too much going on, just like a little bench. The front porch, again, we've got a bicycle, the bins down the side, and another little bench. Through into the foyer, excuse me. Very straightforward, keeping things quite neutral, and through to the back where we've got our little reading area, which is quite nice, I thought, and some of those little hanging plants. To the left of the foyer is the sitting room, is the dining room with the sitting room behind. So the dining for 6, I thought it made sense not to have the chairs at the end so that there was some space and we could have some extra furniture at the back. And the left hand back room is the sitting room with these orange sofas and the jazzy wallpaper, which I like. You might not like, but I thought it sort of gave a little bit of interest to the room. The kitchen is, I suppose, relatively small for such a large house, but I like this this kind of dark worktop and dark wall with the lighter floor tile, and we just have the table for 3, like a breakfast area at the other side. So out at the back, the patio, we've got the nice grill area, got a bin out here, we've got the patio table and the lounges with some nice plants and things, a couple of lamps on the floor, and in the back garden we've got the tree shading the nice swing. This monkey bar set does work, I've tested it out. And then we've got another little lounge area next to the pool. So I liked it that it was sort of nice and simple, and sort of all clean looking within the same colour scheme. Upstairs on the next level we've got this outside area that I did lose some of the footage of building this. So this is a hot tub, and then we've got the raised area here to put your plants and your towels and things. We've got one of the little meditation seats and another little bench, and then this walkway actually goes through. I don't know whether you could see that on the build, but that's why I did the roof covering it like this, so there's a little walkway that actually goes round to the balcony at the back, which just has a nice seat and an easel to add a little bit more things for the Sims to do. This is the little crafty area, the little nifty knitting nook, the main bedroom, into the dressing area and their bathroom, which is quite smart. You can go out here to the back patio, back balcony, or through this door you come to the little desk area which overlooks the downstairs foyer, which I thought looked quite nice. So it's like separated, but you can still, you're not tucked away in a separate room. I put this like the fake laundry hamper here because I thought that would be handy for getting in and out of the swimming pool, because I haven't put any laundry stuff in this pack. Well, not in this pack, in this house. But if you wanted to swap that out and put some washing machines and dryers and things in, you could change that to a proper hamper. Upstairs is the kids' floor, so all of their bedrooms. We've got this little area on the landing with the desk and the bookshelf. I just thought that filled in nicely. The toddler room is really simple, but sort of a nice kind of colourful theme. And as you can see here, our little toddler Arthur, he is playing with this doll's house that's been sized down, so it has made it a lot smaller and it can fit into a room much easier. So that is a good tip to know. Our teenager's room, she's got her violin, she's got a laptop. Pretty simple, little bit of colour. And then this is the twins' room where like all of the activities are taking place. So we've got the toy box, we've got the the big cat, and then this is where I changed the wallpaper on these two walls to be this triangle, because I thought it looked more like a forest. So with this house, little like doll's house, I put the mats down so it looked sort of like grass, and then I thought this looked like it was in the forest, so that's why I swapped that round. They've obviously got a bathroom as well, and I'm just realising that we don't have a bath, which is a bit of a problem with with our toddler, so I am going to have to go in and change that. I remembered everything else, I'm sure. I remembered all the bins and all that kind of stuff, but we don't actually have a bath, so I will swap that round, and I'll be back in a minute. Here we go. So we have now a bath. I think because I copy and pasted from the bathroom downstairs, I just automatically put in a shower. So we do have a nice bath for the toddler, and the sink and the toilet and the mirror and everything as you would expect. Pretty simple. And then finally, the top floor is definitely the kids' room. So you've got a desk where you could put another computer if you wanted one. The Don't Wake the Llama game, the cute little play tent that came with Dream Home Decorator that I really like. I think that's a really cool addition. Although it is a bit big possibly for some builds, although it could go out in the garden, but I thought there it's sort of tucked in the corner and it works quite well. And then a TV up here for them and some little extra toys. So that is basically the whole build. I like it. I think it looks much different than it started, you know, how it started. I know this kind of, not necessarily a trick, but what I like to do when it's really flat is to put these balconies on, so it does kind of give it a little bit more depth to the build, because from this end you can see that this is basically the shape of the building and it is just like long and thin. So I like that, and also adding on this extra roof piece here like I was showing with the walkway. So I like it. I hope you like it too. It is on the gallery to download if you want to check it out. The link is in the description down below. So thank you once again for watching. You can give this a like if you have enjoyed it. It does make me smile. Give me some comments down below if you've got anything to say, and you can also subscribe to see my future stuff. And you can catch me over on Twitch where I do building and let's play, and you can see me over there at ThorniePlaysTheSims. So thank you once again, and I will see you next time.